Well, hello everyone. This is very exciting. I just need to know if you can hear me well. My name is Bea, and you can use the chat to let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me now. And I will be spotlighting my desk as soon as we start drawing. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And after we've done the sound check, we're ready to go. So if you can let me know in the chat whether you can hear me. Wonderful, thank you. So I would like to thank you all for coming and happy Earth Day. I'm here with my favorite plant to celebrate Earth Day and all the species around BC that are so important for our ecosystem. So thank you for the Richmond Nature House and welcome to you all. You can use the chat instead of the Q&A to let me know if you have any questions, if you would like me to focus on a specific part of the drawing. And I'm delighted to start drawing. So as you can see, and I'm going to switch my screen so you can see what I have. Let's see. I'm going to spotlight this. This is my space, my drawing space. I have printed a color photo of the grizzly bear. I have a sharpener. Make sure that all my color pencils are all sharp and well. I have this blue pencil. Is a non-photo blue pencil, and the only reason why it's here is because it's very short. I've used it a lot, so I have to put it here so I can hold it. And then I have a 2B pencil, and these are mostly the tools that I'm going to use, and I have an eraser just in case. So let's go. Grizzly bears. I'm going to start by noticing how I can simplify the head, the neck, and the body. So let's try with my non-photo blue pencil. I'm just gonna make sure I move this so you can see it. The blue pencil, I use it so I can sketch very loosely. I'm gonna put this here so the bear is not lost. So I'm gonna start with a circle for the head. I'm going to continue with a slightly larger circle for the neck. And as if you notice here, the body is like more like an ellipse. So I'm just going to draw a larger circle here. And as you notice, this blue pencil allows me to have like 3D X-ray vision so I can see through. And this is just the blueprint, so I can start adding things with the pencil after I'm done. So I'm gonna make these a little bit harder so you can see it. And let's start with the head. So I noticed that this bear is looking that way, and it has a forehead and a muzzle. So let's try to make these. The muzzle comes out. And what I like about the grizzly bears is that they have a very flat face. So if you find a photo that you like, you can always look at the contour or the silhouette. So what I'm doing now is just drawing the silhouette. I will go with details after. Then I'm gonna notice how the nose is connected to the eye. So I see that the nose is somehow connected to the eye, and the eye is somewhere here. So far, I'm going to leave that there. Maybe I'll refine these when I come later with my pencil. I'm now just locating the big structures. In the skull is the two ears are placed. If you notice this ear, because it's looking at us, we're going to see the inside. Can you slow down a little bit? Oh, I'm so sorry, Miles and Elizabeth. Absolutely. Thank you for letting me know. So what I'm going to do is explain again that I made a circle for the head. I made another circle that overlaps with the head. It's like a snowman bear. And then I'm going to make another circle for the body. And then what I did, I just made a line that comes out of the head just to put the muzzle. And I'm looking at this photo here. So I'm just looking at this muscle. It's a little bit curvy, so I will make that line a little bit curvier when I go with the pencil. And I just made a triangle here where my nose is gonna go. And then I connected these and I put the eyes somewhere here. And the reason why I'm doing it with a blue pencil is because later I'm gonna go with the pencil and I'm gonna make all the details. So I just, you're absolutely right. I was a little bit fast. I was too excited. So what I'm gonna do once I have my head with my eye, the other eye is here. With my X-ray vision, I can see both eyes. But when I go with my pencil, this eye is gonna be behind the muscle. Great. So once we have these, I'll continue. How are we doing? If you can use the chat, see if I pulled it up so you can see. So this is the head. Oh, thank you, Vivi. The head, this is going to be our neck, and this is going to be our body. Wonderful. So one of the things that grizzly bears are known for is this hump in the neck. So if I am going to continue my silhouette, oh, I forgot the ears. Put that here. One ear, this ear here, and then the other here. And as I was saying before, this ear is looking at us, so I'm going to be able to see the ear, but this one here is facing that way, so I'm not going to be able to see inside. Thank you, Reynaldo. I'm glad you're able to follow up as well. So yeah, once we have our ears, let's do this big hump on the neck. So notice how if I was to follow these with my eye, boop, there's a big hump. That's, if you see a bear with that hump, that's a grizzly. But you don't wanna meet a grizzly bear. You wanna see them in photos or from a safe distance. So that's my hump. And after the hump, all these, look at this big body. So I'm just gonna follow my line. So this is the hump. I'm gonna add a lot of labels after when I'm done with the pencil. I'm just adding now the basic places where things are. Bears have 4 legs. I can see in this photo 1, 2, 3, a little bit hidden, and 4. And all 4 legs are planted on the ground. So let's make sure that I draw all the legs. If you notice, there's a big joint here. That's going to be our elbow. This is going to be the shoulder. They have exactly the same parts that we have. So I'm going to make a circle for the shoulder. I'm going to make a big circle here for the elbow. And then a smaller circle for the wrist. And now, after I'm done with those 3 circles, I'm just going to connect them. And I know it looks a little bit like a robot, but this is just to put things on the paper. One of the things bear are is plantigrades. I'm going to spell that for you. Plantigrades. And that means that they walk by putting the plant of the foot on the ground. So that's what I'm trying to show here. This is our foot. Let's continue with the other legs. The good thing is that I can only see 2 legs complete, so we'll have a little bit less work. So this is our hip, this is our knee, and this is our foot, our ankle. I'm going to connect them. And the same. Then I see a little bit of the foot here. If I was having X-ray vision, I would see that the leg is behind the body. And it comes here to our wrist and another foot there. And the other one is hidden there. So I only see the tip of the back foot. I'm going to wait a little bit and go again through the things that I did so you can follow me. So I did a circle for the shoulder. I did a bigger circle for the elbow. And then I did another circle here for the wrist. And I made connections. Then I made a tiny foot. And I made the exact same thing. And look how I'm observing always, because I'm looking at this photo. So I imagine that this is the hip, this is the knee, and this is the foot. So always look back and forth at your photo. So once we have the legs, once we have the head, the ears, the hump, I noticed this photo also shows me the little tail right here. Let's not forget, he has a little tail. Now I'm going to switch to my 2B pencil. And I like 2B pencil because it's soft. It's not, you've noticed there's sometimes pencils that are called H. Those are hard. H stands for hard. So they a little bit harder on the paper. I like B because they're soft. So let's do some details. Let's start with the face. Look at that beautiful eyes and muscle. So I'm going to start with the eye. And I'm just making my pupil, which is the darkest part, and the rest of the eye. And now what I was saying before, look how fluffy and hairy the forehead is. So I can actually draw lines that are softer and then they break like this to kind of like, looks like hair to me. You can also do M's. So the good thing is that if I am careful and I go slowly, I can add so much detail. Look how the muscle goes like this outside. So I'm just drawing now all these bits and pieces. Pause a bit, please. Absolutely. I will pause a little bit. Would you like me to repeat anything in particular? I can go over the other bits and pieces. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate it. So let's do the nose. So the nose in my photo, I noticed that it's flat. It has a flat nose. Actually, this is called like a dish face, which I found very funny. Dish face, like flat. So I am gonna draw the nose, and it has two nostrils. And this nostril here is going to be a little bit larger because it's closer to us. Then, once I'm done with the nose, I'm going to do the muzzle. And if you notice, the muzzle is like a dog's muzzle. It has a middle line. So I just made a middle line and I connected it. And if I think it's a little bit thin, I can go, because this is a very well-fed bear. So you can always, yeah, that's more like he's been eating a lot of fish. And then notice how in the photo, he starts having a lot of hair here. So I can go again, and with my lines, breaking them, I can pretend that I'm drawing a lot of hair. I'm going to continue with my nose. And one thing I really, really, really like is the eyes. They're so beautiful. So this is our bear. We cannot see this eye completely, but we can see a little bit of it. And I'm going to draw eyelashes because there we go, our bear face. Let's see the ear. This, we said that this ear, we can see it. We can see the inside. If she has some wax, we can see it because it's looking at us. But this ear is not looking at us, so we cannot see what's inside. But you see, every line, I'm finished the line with pew, 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 or with M, to make sure that it looks like hair. I'm going to take this pencil out of here. Let's continue here. Ooh, look at this hump. This hump, you see this hair breaks also here. That's very fun. It's like if it has a mohawk. So I'm going to make M. There we go. And as you notice, as we are drawing with the with this pencil, we're no longer seeing the blue. It's like back in the background, so we can add as much detail and color. Let's make more hair. Let's now notice how this leg has a lot of hair, and the hair is going like this, like a Christmas tree. So I'm going to make sure I draw that, all the hair on the legs, and then they become narrower at the wrist, and fluffy hair. I'm going to pretend that this rock is not there, so I can draw the bear's foot. And bears have 5 fingers, and I know you've seen this before. I'm going to draw it here. But when bears walk, they leave these footprints. And these represents the palm. That would be this part. These would be each finger, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are the nails. My nails are very short, but bears have long nails. So let's make 1, because I'm on profile, I will not see all of them, but at least 2 and 3. And big claws. And I'm going to make the foot a little bit thicker. You can use the razor. There we go. So that's our big, fierce paw. Let's do the same on the other ones. I see in the photo all fluff. So let's see. Let's do our fluffy tail. It's a very tiny tail. I didn't know bears had tails until I was researching for these. Oh, and I read so many interesting things about bears. I read that they could be up to 3 meters tall, which is a lot. And that they can be up to 530 kilos. That's a lot of bear. The back claws are tinier. And because the leg is in front of the body, I'm going to make some hair coming up here. I also see this leg, but this leg is in the back. So imagine that this is the body and this is the leg. So it's behind like this. So I'm going to make sure I draw the body first. All this fluff. And then I draw my leg in the back. And color is going to help a lot. So look, in the photo, I can see the claws. So let's make sure that I draw that. I can see very clearly this finger, this one. The other one probably is in the back. And I can always adjust things. And one thing I like about grizzly bears is that they have beautiful colors. So we're gonna draw that too. And I'm gonna make my claws, and I can do these bigger so you see what I'm doing. I'm gonna make it big here. So I'm making a finger, and the claw is inserted, right? So what I'm doing is drawing the claw coming from the finger. So I have another finger here and another claw here. So this is what I'm doing here, but I just made it a little bit larger so you could see it. Those are big claws. I bet he can catch all the fish when he's, yeah, waiting for that yummy, yummy, jumping salmon. Imagine that there's water here and all the fish are jumping and he's like, let's see. I see also that there is the neck is behind the face. So I'm gonna put more fluff there, more fluff there. Let's see, my tiny foot there with tiny claws in the back. I barely see that leg. But don't think that bears have only 3 legs. Eh? They have 4. I'm gonna move it here so you can see it. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that I'm going slower. So I really thank you for calling me on that. Sometimes it happens that I get so excited when I'm drawing that I start going very, very fast. There we go. This bear is very handsome. One other thing I read about grizzly bears is that they have, you know, sometimes they have very weird scientific names. So I know this is a grizzly, and I'm gonna have fun with my title. See if I can spell it well. No, it has 2 Z's or Zeta, depending where you're from. Grizzly. Grizzly. That's my my font for the bear. Bear. And you can have the title that you want. You don't have to have exactly like mine. You can invent your own. So I'm just going to write here the scientific name. And the scientific name is amazing. It's Ursus arctos horribilis. Can you believe that? Horribilis, this beautiful bear. How can that be horribilis? Well, there you go. That's the scientific name. So let's add some color, shall we? Oh, can you repeat the paw? Absolutely. So, bears, they walk with their palms like this. So all the fingers are facing forward. So when they walk, they leave a trail. And this is the kind of the palm print, the print that you will find if you're walking around the forest. So what I was trying to explain is how I draw the claws. And you know what? It's funny because birds have very similar structure. So what I did, I draw first the finger. And then if you add a circle like this, and you add a triangle that looks like a little bit like a bird. If you draw an eye, it looks like a bird. And then I'm going to make these lines a little bit harder so you can see. This lower part of the nail is always curved. So they don't have flat nails like this. They're always curved. And then what you can do, and I'm going to do with color, is to add a little bit of shading here. So I hope that helps. I also darken a little bit the light around the finger. And then, so that's pretty much those clothes. And I'm going to flatten out these a little bit because otherwise it looks like a bird. There you go. So I also noticed that the hair goes down the claw. So I'm going to add a little bit of hair there. So I would, oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, if you would like me, I know 1 hour is very, very, very short time, but we're going to try to do as much as we can. So I'm going to add labels because I know this is called a hump. These are called claws. This is the foot. And let's see. We all know that those are the ears, the eyes, the muzzle. I like that word, muzzle with 2 Z's. So let's add some color, shall we? How are we doing? I have here pencil drawings, but you can add all the type. If you have watercolor, or if you have I don't know, you like maybe crayons, that's fine. I like these ones, but because those are the ones that I have around. So I'm going to start. These are known for being like a pale yellow, dark brown. So I'm happy I found a photo that actually reflects that a little bit. Oh, I just need some sharpenings here. There we go. So one thing I really start with when I'm gonna do a pencil drawing is either start with the light or with the darks. So I'm gonna start with the dark. I notice that there's darker areas here in the neck and in the ears, the hump, and this is because the light is coming from here. So look, if I add the sun here, the light is coming from here to here. So the areas that are, which one is a good eraser? Oh my goodness, anything that erases. And I don't have any brand or anything, but look, if it happens to you that it gets very dark, like mine, very dirty, you can erase the eraser. So if you erase the eraser, and I'm not erasing anything, just the eraser, it cleans. So a good eraser is an eraser that erases, but it's not just the eraser, it's the pencil that you use. 2B is very easy to erase. Look, I'm gonna write here head and I'm gonna erase it. So that's a good eraser, but it also depends on the pencil that you use. These are colorable, color erase. So these are crayons that can be erased. If you use a regular color pencil or a very hard pencil, a graphite pencil, they're very difficult to erase. So that is not as much the eraser as it is the actual tool that you're using to color with. I'm gonna go with a little bit of brown, and as you notice, I'm gonna hold the pencil like this instead of like this. Like this, I use it for like detail. But when I'm gonna color, I'm gonna hold it like this. So I'm gonna, because I can then color with the side of the pencil. So I can start very light. I'm not going to go very dark very soon because I want to add details. What other areas are darker? I'm just copying the photo, so I'm glad that you can see it. So this is dark. Definitely the one in the back. That's darkest. I'm leaving some spaces. Then all these areas. I actually see that there is like an area here that is dark and then a little bit here is light. So I'm going to leave some room there. But see, if I was coloring with the tip, I would be doing marks like this. But because I'm using the side, I can do these kind of marks, which it suits me. There we go. So I'm gonna use these. And I'm using very light pressure. I don't want to be like, oh, super hard on the paper. I'm gonna use some lines here and here. And I leave a little bit of space here. Do you see? Because there's some light here. And then here, and then definitely the hump. Although you notice that the little tip of the hump, because it gets hit by the sun, it's a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna leave that there. Just that, those hairs. But all this is super dark. And I no longer see the blue. Isn't it amazing? It's like a magic pencil. There we go. And then I'm gonna move this a little bit of this ear. They're very, very protective of their cubs, and that's why it's a good idea not to get close to any bear and any cubs. I know they're very cute, but it's not, yeah, you need to stay away, because then the mom will be a little bit nervous, and that's a little bit dangerous. But they're very important because they eat a lot of, it's called carrion. I learned that this morning. I can write this here. They eat carrion, and they're also omnivores. And I'm going to explain what those are while I continue. They eat carrion. Carrion is like when animals die in the forest, they start, like, you know, they die, and the bear comes and eats them. So it helps kind of this cycle of recycling in nature. And they're also omnivores, which means that they eat plants, they eat fish, they eat meat. And with their droppings, when they eat seeds, seeds are not digested. So their droppings have these seeds, and because bears walk long distances, they help spreading all these trees and all these berries and bushes. So they're very important in nature. They play a very important role. We really need to take care of them and leave them alone. That's very important. Don't go near a bear if you meet one. So what I'm doing now, I'm putting a little bit of shadow under the eye and near the beginning of the nose. I also noticed that the nose is a little bit darker. But notice how I'm leaving this space, because this is going to be a different color. There we go. So this is kind of the darkest, I think, that I'm gonna go. Maybe at the very, very end, I'll make this darker. But now I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna use a lighter brown that I have here. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna color a little bit the areas that are transitioning into light. It's funny, this photo also captures how it's a little bit redhead. I want to put that there. And also light changes colors of things. Sometimes I put my hand near the window and I notice how the outer part of my fingers could be red if the sun is hitting it. It's really cool. So let's see a little bit more of color, a little bit of color in the paws. Oh, I can't wait to see what you're doing. If you send an email to the Nature House with your drawings, oh, they're going to be so happy. And I'm going over. Do you see with pencils, you can color on top of one another. So you kind of mix, actually. This is really cool. Okay, well, I'm going to go now with this color that is a little bit yellowish. And I'm going to color this muscle here. Oh, that's nice. I should not forget that ear. This a little bit here. And if you see that the blue is somehow showing whatever, well, I can erase it a little bit. And I lost the line here. There we go. Do, 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 do. I also read that they can have like up to 3-4 cubs every year, and they go into hibernating, and when they wake up, it's like, oh my goodness, look at all these children. So is when they start walking around the forest, looking for food. And that's why it's very important, if you go camping, that you secure all the food and that you put the things in the containers that are designed so bears cannot open them. Because if they get used to being fed by humans, then it becomes very tricky for them to learn how to find food on their own. So it's very, very important to either put the food high up in a tree and use the trash cans that you've seen when you go camping. They're bear proof. Very important. Okay, as you see, I'm just going over and adding more colors. And you can color your bear as you wish. If you have purple and you like the color purple, you can draw your bear purple. It's totally your bear. So I'm just going to start doing more darks. And we have less than 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to also leave some time if you have questions that you can type. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue. Let's see, and you can see that sometimes I leave a mark like this. And I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's like a mountain. So it looks like there's hair. Mountain. And oh, I cannot forget my area here of like light. And I can go over. The good thing about color pencil is that you can then go over and all the colors magically blend together, and it's such a beautiful effect. I'm going to go a little bit with my 2B pencil, and I'm going to refine some of these that, because of the use of the color pencil, they get a little bit lost. But just a little bit. Yeah, so we can see all the features best. And I left a little bit of this here, so I want to make sure everything is colored. And let's see, this is a little bit darker. And things that are behind things are often darker. So this foot here, this foot here. Let's see, this claw, I think it has a little bit of blue in it. And if you don't have the exact color, it's okay. You can mix. I'm mixing a little bit of blue. You know, if you want to see how a color would look like, you can make a tiny dot and then color it here. It's like, oh, actually, I like this color. I'm going to put it here in my drawing. And then I'm going to color my letters. That's why I made them with a little bit of volume, so I could actually color them, because I like to have fun with my titles. Grizzly bear. There's other types of bears in BC. There's also black bears. They're a little bit tinier. But if you go to Grouse Mountain, they have 2 grizzly bears there that live there, and their names are, and I'm going to write it here. So at Grouse Mountain, there lives two. They're called Grinder and Cola. And they live there and they're happy. So I'm also gonna use these greens I have here because in the photo it's so nice that I can see some green behind. So I'm gonna just add some green. Oh yes. I like my bear to be in the forest where they should be. I forgot to add an arrow to the head, the neck, and the body. And I'm going to put here weight. You can write numbers, text. Weight. It's like what? Ursus arctos horribilis. Well, ours is not horribilis. Let me tell you. And you know what? If you have a darker green, you can also use it for your background. I'm gonna put some green here. And then I think I have a black. So I use black very little, but I'm gonna use only in the darkest areas. So let's see the hump. So let's see, I'm gonna use a little bit of black. Because once you use black, it's very difficult to erase. But at least I want to make sure that I have the darkest areas dark. There we go. Because it creates a lot of depth. But have you seen how many colors this has? It's incredible. My chair is making interesting noises. Let's see. Oh, he is a big bear. I don't know if he's a he or a she, but it's definitely well fed. A lot of fish. And berries. There we go. So I can't wait to see all the drawings that you're going to send to the nature house, because I'm sure all the bears that you're drawing are simply amazing. And after this, we're going to draw bats. So I hope you can join. I'm going to make it darker. There we go. And then I'm going to continue with some brown, because why not? And if you have questions, this is the perfect time, because we are going to finish maybe in like 7 minutes or so. So I get ready for the bats. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm now going to hold it like this to add more detail. Over here. Oh, look at all fluffy. Fluff, fluff, fluff. This is the perfect day for drawing indoors. It's raining. And you know, if I hold it like this and I make all these very, very heavy, like holding the pencil very, very heavily, I can make like hair, like M. This is a very handsome bear. I like her eyes. They're very, very cute. And finally, I think I would like to add a little bit of soil so she's not floating like an astronaut. She's planted. My bare face looks like a fox. Well, it can look like a fox, that's fine. I'm gonna draw darker lines under the paws because the shadows. There we go. You know what? When you show the drawing, you can say that you draw a fox and no one is gonna know. There we go. So also I might draw a rock here. Just circles. So he's definitely on the forest where he should be. There we go. Oh, well. Oh, I have a question. Let's see, Q&A. Oh, thank you. That was previously that to slow down, but thank you. Well, I had a lot of fun, and I hope you had fun too, drawing our grizzly bear, Ursus, Arctos, horribilis, but in our case is wonderfulis. Remember to identify a grizzly. They are this color brown, golden, dark brown with the hump and a very flat face, like flat face. And yeah, just remember to stay far away from bears and to lock all your trash in the secure trash if you go camping. And I hope really, really, really that you have a really good weekend. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and happy Earth Day.